Alright, so we're continuing with this idea of geometric proofs, but today we're going into lines. We're going to talk a little bit about skew lines just because it's a word that you need to know, not necessarily that we're going to do any proofs about it. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about this concept of parallel versus skew lines. Parallel lines are coplanar. In other words, they exist on the same plane. So if you were in class, I would have asked you, define parallel. And you would have come up with things like lines never touch. Well, interestingly enough, this line, BF, never touches this line, DC, but if they were on the same plane, they would cross. So, parallel lines have to be on the same plane. They have to be on the same sheet of paper. Okay? Skew lines, and then they never intersect. Skew lines never intersect because they're not on the same plane. Like BF and DC, or AB and CG, okay? We can't put a piece of paper between them without twisting the paper. That's how I see it. If you look on the ones that I've highlighted, if I match up B to D and F to C, see how I have to twist my paper in this really uncomfortable way? Whereas if I do B to D and F to H, I get a nice flat plane. Or if I do B to C and F to G, flat plane. Okay, as long as I can create a flat plane, if the two lines never touch, then it's parallel. If I have to twist it somehow, see how that's definitely twisting it, then it's skew. Okay, so A, B, and C, G are skew. Parallel planes are just two planes that never intersect, like A, B, C, D, so this front, or no, this top plane, and EFGH, this bottom plane. See how they never intersect because they've got that perfect space between them that's beautifully marked. Alright, I want you guys to label two lines that are skew to EJ. Just two. There are lots, just label two. On the answer slide I've listed a lot. I don't know if I got all of them, but I listed a lot. Then I want you guys, remember back to our vocabulary, remember corresponding angles and what that means. I think of it same spot, different set. So like 1 and 3 on this one. So label the corresponding angles. Nothing too intense. And then once you've practiced that for a little bit, I also want you to label all the angles that are congruent and list the reasons as to why. Are they alternate interior angles? Are they alternate exterior angles? Are they corresponding angles? Are they vertical angles? Like, you can use any and all of those things. I just want you to list all of the angles that are congruent to 51 degrees and how you know that they are congruent. Not just they look congruent. You have to answer how you know. And it helps that these two are parallel, so then you can use all those beautiful reasons that we talked about in 6.0. Okay, and once you finish that, we're going to come back together and I'll help you talk about this proof a little bit before I set you on your own with it.